here we are, Talbot Street.
Everybody's come through the doors of this building, haven't they? And all sorts of things.
Yeah, they've come through for the complaints, confessions to murder, and of course Jerry Hutch snuck in this building as well late at night one night and did an interview.
And flowers.
And flowers.
Don't forget the flowers, because we're going to tell all these stories at the Cork Podcast Festival, which is our show's actually on the 30th of March in the Opera House. Tickets are on sale from the corkpodcastfestival.ie, and they're selling fast. We've only got, 2 weeks left?
2 weeks left, yeah.
Devon Hennessy, the son of Jason Hennessy Snr, who was executed at Brown's Steakhouse in Blanchardstown on Christmas Eve 2023, has gone on hunger strike at Portlaoise Prison. He has informed prison authorities, basically, that he wants no more to eat.
Yeah.
And it's a protest, basically, about not being bailed and about being conditions he describes in prison as not being appropriate for him.
Yeah, I mean, the full reason, his full things that he's unhappy with were not, I suppose, fully clear with. But yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon, I suppose, for prisoners to take these stances in jail. Portlaoise is obviously, very well accustomed to dealing with prisoners of all types. Would have been the scene from a lot of the Republican prisoners were placed there, all of them really over, during the Troubles and towards the end.
They were proper hunger strikes they went on. I mean, for political reasons.
No, I know, but I mean, I suppose
Devon Hennessy is one of 5 people on remand after he was charged with falsely imprisoning a man in a property in West Dublin. We can't say a huge amount about this case now because it's before the district court still. It'll either go to an upper court or perhaps to another court. But they are in jail over that incident, which was quite stunning and shocking. And there was a photograph released of the man who was alleged to have been tortured, beaten with an iron, trampled on and waterboarded. We heard some evidence before the court, which we can discuss because there had been bail hearings and the police were objecting to a number of individuals getting bail. But just in general, when it comes to hunger strike, Devon Hennessy, how long could you be okay without eating if you were seriously doing a hunger strike and seriously not eating?
Well, I mean, it's the water that keeps you going, I suppose. I mean, obviously Bobby Sands is the most famous hunger striker in our, era.
Yeah.
And he lasted 66 days. There have been cases of people on hunger strike in I think in Turkey, in some of the Kurdish separatist movements. It seemed to last hundreds of days. So I don't know, but I mean, 66 days, obviously.
But the IRA prisoners did really go on proper hunger strikes.
They went on proper,
all food.
Yeah.
And, they clung to life until the very end.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've been watching Say Nothing on Disney in relation to the Price sisters, they went on hunger strike and were force-fed in jail in the UK when they were serving a sentence for the bombing of the Old Bailey. And horrific scenes in that drama really around that. I presume certain prisoners, will throw it out that they're on hunger strike and they might not necessarily take it as seriously as the political prisoners of the past have.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the hunger strike is, you start putting yourself in danger of lifelong health problems, in or around 3 or 4 weeks. Even people that, obviously some people did recover, I think. Some went into comas after sort of 50 days, things like that.
They went blind and everything.
They went blind because obviously your muscles, eventually your body starts eating your muscles and even the muscles in your eyes, eventually that's what the body takes for fuel. So
even though to starve yourself at all, it is such a kind of a basic human survival skill even every day. Of course, we eat too much, but in general, it's just so unnatural. And I think it would probably take a huge amount of determination about a cause. So Devon Hennessy is complaining because of the way the prison is either being run or his conditions there. Now, there is overcrowding in prisons, there's no doubt about it. And Devon Hennessy and others have been placed in particular wings, and they will have been kept away from certain people. And, I don't believe they're on the wing, the kind of the more desirable wings, shall we say.
Well, they're in, there is remand prisons in Ireland, obviously, mostly Clover Hill. They've been placed in Portlaoise Prison for operational reasons. Obviously, when you're on remand in Clover Hill, there's different conditions. Devon Hennessy and anybody who's on remand is innocent until proven guilty. So prisoners that are on remand get different conditions than prisoners that have been found guilty. So they have easier access to family. They have easier access to their lawyers. They have, different conditions that are relevant to the fact that they are innocent people. Devon Hennessy, we was up before the court last week. That's where some of this information has come to light
on a separate.
Charge. Totally unrelated charge. A very sort of, I suppose, minor driving charge. He effectively drove on a scrambler bike, which people will know. You see them, a lot of kids on them, 12, 13, 14-year-olds. They're very low-powered motorbikes. I think I can't remember the exact legislation, but they did used to lack enough power that they weren't considered proper motorbikes, and people didn't need licenses. So he was in court. He admitted to driving dangerously on one of these bikes.
On a footpath causing pedestrians to jump out of his way. I'd say, they mightn't have the speed to be a motorbike, but if you're...
No, of course. I mean, he admitted 5 counts of dangerous driving and uninsured driving, and received a €500 fine and a 2-year ban, and also a prison term in connection with it. So, that was the context in which we heard about this. The case itself, Devon Hennessy was up for a bail hearing in the last couple of weeks. They were charged. They had an initial hearing. Bail was denied at that point. They then, 4 of the men charged went to the High Court, where you can apply for bail. That bail was refused. Again, the police objected to it, and the judge was minded.
That's where we heard the evidence of what had happened.
Yeah, we heard some of the evidence in both separate hearings.
Yeah.
The accused are Jason and Devon Hennessy, who are 27 and 28, and Dean Fitzsimons and his father Kenneth, who are of Castlecurra Vale in Dublin 15. They were all brought before the courts. They're each charged with causing serious harm to the alleged victim and falsely imprisoning him on February the 12th, as well as producing an article during the dispute, which is sort of standard enough charge. And, the guards have, in those court hearings, they outlined the sort of basic case, which is that the man went to the Hennessy family home, where he initially met 3 men, including Devon and Jason Hennessy. They brought him to an outhouse at the rear of the property, and he says he was punched. He had the phone snatched from his hand, and he was ordered to tell the men the truth, it is claimed, and that Kenneth Fitzsimons grabbed a steel bar and beat him across the legs, according to the evidence given by the guards. And eventually, the detective, during that hearing, gave evidence that Jason Hennessy then took a cattle branding device with the word rat on it and said he'll talk after this. And then it is claimed he ignited a camping stove and heated the iron, and then proceeded to brand the man. Now, all of the men brought before on these charges have indicated that they haven't made a formal plea, but they are effectively have denied the charges, and are
they all been held in Portlaoise?
They're all being held in Portlaoise
together.
Yeah, as far as we know. So they're 2 brothers and father and son.
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on that court case as it goes on through the courts in the coming weeks and months. Okay, thanks, Niall.
Thanks, Nicola. Robbie Lawler was out of control.
This is Double Cross, the murder of Robbie Lawler.
It was going to be an all-out war with him in the middle of it.
Crime World special investigation podcast based on my new book, Web of Betrayal, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Nicola Tallant and you're watching Crime World, a podcast about criminals, drugs and the underworld in Ireland and across the globe. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you can be the first to watch all our latest episodes. You can also listen wherever you get your podcasts.